In this video, we're going to talk about migrating from Premiere into a DAW Station to work on our specialized mix. Now, this video I have recut and refilmed a few times because honestly, there's just not a very easy, simple way about it. So I decided to just show the situation and give you a few options so you will be able to choose for your needs. Now, in one hand, we have the need to edit our video and our sound effects and lay out our timeline in Premiere. We're not going to do it anywhere else. This is where we edit videos. But Premiere timelines, as we know, is kind of limited when we are working with spatial sound. We can go over here to sequence and then VR, either mono stereo, and choose spatial sequence, and then copy our sequence over there or style our sequence from here. But Premiere is not optimal for doing all sound engineering such as spatializing inside Premiere. We can import all of our sound over here, but it's supporting only 4 channels, meaning that if we have an 8-channel spatial recorder in the scene, we will lose information if we will import it over here. We will have to encode and reduce the channels. So in one hand, we are editing our video, laying out all of our sound effects and things in Premiere, and then we need to move to a DAW Station. Now, if we are working with Pro Tools, there is no problem. You basically export your file as an OMF, and then Pro Tools can import this OMF and have all of your timeline laid out with no problem. But if you are working with Reaper, well, things are a little bit more complicated. There is a new software that allows you to export this data as a Final Cut Pro XML, and then it takes that XML and makes it readable by Reaper. This software called Verdio, and as you can see over here, you can export from Premiere and get into Reaper. But the free version allows you to import only 3 minutes, and it costs £80 if you would like to use it. It is very handy though. I personally didn't buy it because I've yet to find justification for it, and a lot of what I do is basically export the sound from here channel by channel and moving it to Reaper, and you'll see that in the next example. So to summarize, you have 4 options. You can either specialize your whole mix and work everything within Premiere, work inside spatial sequence, and you can also apply your Facebook 360 effects from over here. You can then export your special mix from over here by changing that to 4 and marking it as ambisonic. But this is really not the most professional workflow. It is very limited and just not a comfortable way to go about things. But then if we are working with Pro Tools, then no problem. We're going over here to export OMF and then re-importing it from Pro Tools. That process has been working for years. But if we are working with Reaper, it's a bit more difficult to export this information into Reaper. So it's either by exporting stem files, by singling out each track and exporting this sound, or working with Verdio, which is great, but you need to purchase it. Also important to remember is that if we are inserting spatial sound over here, it's limited only up to 4 channels. So if we have a higher order spatial sound, we will have to reduce it, and then we're losing quality. Okay, I hope that helped you clarify some things and choose what is the right workflow for you. You should also check out the cinematic workflow in Reaper video, in which I'm showing in details how I'm working with option number 3, which is somewhat of a workaround, but I think it saves time and energy at the end of the day. remember that this technology is still very new, so we need to be patient with some of the things and some of the workarounds. Alright, see you in the next videos.